What if I told you someone in the 1950s stripped down the cockpit of a plane and made it into a car? Wait, that's not exciting enough for you? What if I told you people lived your dream and drove a real-life Hot Wheels car? Want to hear something even better? Someone actually invented a floating car. That's right, you better fasten your seatbelts because we're about to take you on an astonishing journey through the world of vehicles where design, engineering, and uniqueness have been pushed to their limits. In the world of automobiles, innovation frequently coexists with eccentricity, resulting in the production of some genuinely strange and jaw-dropping vehicles. Welcome back to the Car Zone, where we will trip down to the 15 strangest cars of all time. But before that, you should subscribe to the channel and grab some popcorn because you definitely would want more. 15 off-electric. The off-electrique, sometimes called the electric egg by some. This peculiar creation is like something straight out of a wacky sci-fi movie. This car almost feels like my UFO dreams coming true. It's the car you'd expect to see flying around in a cartoon universe, shaped like a giant futuristic egg. Released in 1942, this electric car was really ahead of its time. Automobile makers in the 21st century are having trouble perfecting the electric vehicle industry, and here, there was an electric egg people didn't know the value of. Oh well. What was even more cool was that this was a three-wheel vehicle, a three-wheel egg. That's a first. 14, BMW Isetta. Released after the Second World War, the BMW Isetta took the automobile industry to a very strange turn. This unusual microcar, which was introduced in the 1950s, is sometimes referred to as the bubble car. This microcar was a huge hit for BMW because it sold nearly 160,000 units. What caught people's eye was the exotic egg-shaped body, a huge front open door which also had the steering wheel attached to it. Yeah, we have never seen a steering wheel attached to a door. But what's even more surprising is that this car only had a single door. This microcar only had the capacity to fit two people. However, apart from its unique and astonishing looks, the Isetta was liked by people because of its ability to fit into tiny parking spaces at a speed of around 50 miles per hour, which was also pretty decent for that time. 13. Peel P50. If you have ever wanted to drive a real-life Hot Wheels car, look no further than the Peel P50. This little microcar is a light-hearted homage to the world of toys for grown-ups. It is the tiniest production automobile ever produced, according to the Guinness World Record. To get a sense of the minuscule size, picture just fitting one medium-sized human individual. It resembles a contemporary automobile chopped into 4 pieces. The automobile is just 54 by 39 inches. You have probably never seen a car that is smaller than 100 inches. With a horsepower of only 4.2, it consisted of a 49cc 2-stroke single-cylinder. With today's fuel and traffic rates, automakers should start reproducing the Peel P50. 12. The Wienermobile. This might actually be the craziest car you'll ever hear about. Since its debut in the 1940s, this advertising vehicle, designed like an enormous loaded hot dog on a bun, has represented American culture. Over the years, the Wienermobile has undergone several incarnations, each more wacky than the last. Travels the country, acting as a bizarre promotional vehicle for the Oscar Mayer firm. And all I can say is that's some pretty good marketing for that time. Not even Kylie Jenner has been able to pull that off for her own makeup brand. The automotive industry seems to be regressing in terms of innovation and defying convention. 11. Stout Scarab. When it comes to oddball automobiles, the Stout Scarab steals the show when it comes to unique cars, and it serves it in an unexpected way. It seems as though a spacecraft and a minivan were combined, and for good measure, 1930s Art Deco influences were added. Forget road trips. It's more like traveling through the history of car design and arriving in a fantastical parallel universe where eccentricity and comfort are the primary motivators. No one has ever had the guts to remake such a piece ever again. This four-wheel drive is not only an innovative design, but also served as a multi-purpose minion, especially in the 1900s. 10. 6 Messerschmitt KR200. I can't figure out whether this is a car or a scooter. It looks like a hybrid, one-of-a-kind, 3-wheeled vehicle with a very unusual entrance that opens from the ceiling. Dang, the Messerschmitt invented an open rooftop without even knowing how ahead of their time they were. This microcar is so tiny that it appears roomier than a sardine can. It's like a car made for a world where the word compacts doesn't even begin to cover it. Behind the wheel of a Messerschmitt KR200, you'll feel as though you're strapped into a roadworthy fighter jet with a comfortable cockpit. This car is probably where inventors got the idea of the time capsule. 995 Chrysler Streamline X Gilda. This collaboration between Chrysler and the Italian design house Ghia was marked as being the most futuristic design of the 20th century. It looks like a plane's cockpit has been stripped off, and someone just wheels on it. For a contemporary car, the gas turbine engine that powered the vehicle is somewhat unusual. This automobile was obviously far ahead of its time, reaching a peak speed of somewhere around 140 miles per hour. 8. The Aurora, and the award for the weirdest or ugliest car goes to Aurora. This looks like a child's origami came to life. Let's just say the manufacturing of this car was just as weird. It was made by a Catholic priest, and, well, that gives it away as to why this car never performed. I mean, literally, because it broke down 15 times during a test run. Although, for the time, it did gather quite the attention. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? Make sure to do so now. 7. 1932 Ford Speedster. The Ford Motor Company officially made history with this classic American car. This custom-built vehicle looks like every car out of Netflix's periodic shows. But do you know why? That's because this was one of the first automobiles the Americans started using in their everyday life. This automobile had a particularly odd elongated design, a steering wheel, and a small cockpit with 2 seats. I guess you could call it fashion. 6. Citroën DS, its sleek aerodynamic body, marked by its long nose and tapered rear end, made it look like it was the love child of a UFO and a luxury sedan. In contrast to other boxy vehicles of the 1900s, it was refreshing to see something out of the ordinary. However, it's ironic how it's the new normal now. Also, this automobile had several technologically advanced features for its day, such as a hydropneumatic self-leveling suspension system that guaranteed passenger safety. Disc brakes and a semi-automatic gearbox were also provided. 5. Lamborghini Egoista. It's always the Italians making the craziest car. The 2013 Lamborghini was released on an Italian company's 50th anniversary, and this made headlines like no other. This car isn't just strange because of its unconventional shape. Come on. We've seen worse, but also because it only has 1 seat. To all the singles out there, this is your sign to get one. Furthermore, the Lamborghini Egoista's lights resemble those of an airplane more than a car. It has LED clearance lights instead of conventional headlights. 4. Dodge Diora. Dodge Diora is without a doubt the term that best describes the 1960s. It looks like a surfer who chose to convert their board into a car with a beachy effect. The retro-futuristic beauty of a 1960s sci-fi film is evident in this ride. The car's distinctive single front door adds to its fun factor. I bet that Toyota's Vigo borrowed the concept of an open truck from Dodge Diora. 3. The Imprecar Model 770. Have you ever wanted to sit in a floating vehicle? Only if you lived in the 1960s would you have lived that dream. This versatile vehicle, built in the 1960s, was one of the few automobiles in history that can drive and float on water. Did you know the former U.S. President, Lyndon B.A. Johnson, also owned one of these cars? Apparently, he had a fetish for floating around town and scaring people. 2. Lancia Portone, Stratos HF0. Built by the Italian powerhouse of automobiles, Burton, the Stratos pushed every boundary of concept cars in the 1970s. The car was only 33 inches tall, although I don't know how that would make my back feel. Passengers basically lay down and drove around town. It can't get crazier than this, ladies and gentlemen. The interior was minimal, with few controls and a steering wheel. 1. General Motors Firebird. Finally, on number 1, we have the General Motors Firebird. This wins CarZone's award for the most bizarre-looking car. Its large wing design and the entrance of a chopper were pretty astonishing in the 1950s. It was powered by a gas turbine engine and was one of the first to use a gas turbine engine. With 370 horsepower, this car could be classified as a race car in the 1950s. However, due to the high noise of the turbine and high temperature problems, the car wasn't suitable for an everyday ride. Nevertheless, the car attracted a lot of attention for its incredible design. These 15 automobiles showed us that creativity has no limits and that often the most bizarre ideas leave the strongest impacts on our automotive industry. Alright folks, this was it for today's video. If you liked what you saw, make sure to subscribe to CarZone so you don't miss out on future videos. Until then, head over to our channel and enjoy an endless stream of more entertaining videos. Remember to give this video a like and turn on the notification bell.